saw one Shiva temple is coming up. So how much time it will take, and what is your plan?
For us, it's extremely important that everybody who lives in Estonia feels homey and they are happy.
How India and Estonia can work together?
I think we are both very hungry nations
Yes.
in terms of innovation and technology.
You are a big player in cyber defense.
During the last 2 decades, and there is very good knowledge to share. And I think we have a lot to learn also from India.
How do you see this West Asia war going on?
We are probably today in a waiting room of World War III.
You don't see anything wrong the way they attacked Tehran and killed Supreme Leader Khomeini?
Several days in and around West Asia just confirm that unfortunately rules are broken.
How do you see India's role, not in terms of mediation? Prime Minister Modi stated that there should not be war and be ended by negotiations only.
I think we are here sort of on the same page, Estonia and India, seeking peace.
How do you see the role of President Trump? I will end this war in 24 hours time, but 4 years, is he putting pressure on Russia, or he's playing both the ways?
Perhaps sometimes leaders know about realities. Yes, it is a nice slogan to use during campaign time.
नमस्कार, हमारे साथ एस्टोनिया संसद की विदेश मामलों की संसदीय समिति के चेयरमैन मार्को मिहकेल्सन हैं, जो कि भारत के दौरे पर हैं, और इनसे हम बात करेंगे वेस्ट एशिया में जारी जंग की और साथ ही साथ भारत और एस्टोनिया के द्विपक्षीय संबंधों की। आपका स्वागत है, वेलकम टू माय शो मिस्टर मार्को। सो हाउ यू आर फीलिंग इन इंडिया? This is your second visit,
Yeah, this is second visit. The first one was 14 years ago. So
14 years
yes,
ago.
it's a long time ago, and I see a lot of changes. And
What
India,
kind of changes?
India has always been full of contrasts, but the main change, I think, is that India plays today much more important role in global affairs, in foreign policy, in security policy, and this is why also Raisina dialogue, which is going on these days in Delhi, it's a kind of the show that you are reaching out to different corners of the world with different topics to be handled and tackled here. So, and you bring together a lot of people to see India, but
Yes.
also to see the vantage point or understand the vantage point of India.
As you have talked about the India's role in global affairs, so how do you see this West Asia war going on? Do you think that international norms have been breached during this war, and the not the state head but the supreme leader of Iran got killed in that particular conflict?
You know, I still would like to start with Russia's aggression against Ukraine, because everything started in 2022 when it comes to a question of how does international law still exist in a way we would like to see, especially small countries like Estonia. For us, of course, it's extremely important that right is above might, but unfortunately, during the last 4 years, since full-scale invasion of Russia against Ukraine, against Europe, this chain of wars has widened, and we have to make very direct connection between current war in West Asia, in the Middle East, and with what we see in Europe, because Iran has been a very strong supporter
Yes.
of Russia, with supplying drones, ballistic missiles, supporting Russia there, but also creating constant instability in the region, in the Middle East, in West Asia. Because if we go back to the October 7th, 2023 event, when Hamas, backed by Iran, attacked Israel, basically launched this the chain of massive instability in the region. Because, and this is why what is happening right now, the joint operation of the United States and Israel, has a longer routes than perhaps somebody could expect at the moment, and this is why this is very much more difficult to see that this war will end anytime soon.
But you don't see anything wrong the way they attacked Tehran and killed Supreme Leader Khomeini?
I think what has happened during last several years, specifically when Russia started war of aggression against Ukraine, unprovoked war to destroy sovereignty of big European nation, and also we have to keep in mind that one of the strategic objectives of Russia is to destroy entire Western defense alliance, NATO. That tells you that we are probably today in a waiting room of World War III in many ways, because those norms, those rules which kept us safe and the world more stable and global security more predictable, those norms seems to me are not anymore applying to the current situation. And you're right, of course, this is what has happened during last several days in and around West Asia. Just confirm that unfortunately rules are broken.
As you have mentioned about the Ukraine-Russia war, my question to you is that how do you see India's role? India has played a role, not in terms of mediation, but Prime Minister Modi stated that there should not be war and negotiations should take place, and this war can be ended by negotiations only. So how do you see Prime Minister Modi's role in person, and how do you rate, if I can use that word, India's role so far when it comes to Ukraine-Russia war?
I think we are here sort of on the same page, Estonia and India, seeking peace and understanding that that only will preserve this global stability which badly needed for development of our nations, specifically here in India. But perhaps we see still a bit differently how this war should be ended in Europe. I mean, Russia's aggression. I don't believe that negotiations at this particular stage, when preconditions for peace that don't exist, will lead us to a just and lasting peace. Mm-hmm. We have seen, in case of Ukraine, Russia's aggression started already in 2014, and we have seen Minsk process, Normandy process, multiple ceasefires since 2014, and those which were agreed upon through negotiations actually didn't bring a lasting peace. Mm-hmm. So the critical today is to make sure that Russia will be defeated in their war of aggression against Ukraine and against Europe. And you can do it with two major steps. One, supplying enough weaponry and support to Ukraine, that they can uphold battle lines and be successful on the battlefronts, to make sure that Russia will not achieve their strategic goal number one, and also number two, when it comes their kind of aim to destabilize entire Western collective defense. But secondly, what is important, and here India can play a major role as well, is a question of to put enough pressure on Russia, that they are not economically able to sustain this military aggression against Ukraine and or to widen it. And here we all know that Russia's major income comes from energy export.
So here is a point. India started reducing buying oil from Russia, but after this new conflict started, now India is again forced to buy oil from Russia. So how can you justify both the things at the same time?
I understand that at the beginning of this year, the import from Russia was lowest during last 40 plus months for India. But as we know, of course, Middle East is one of the major supplier.
Yes, almost 50% oil we get from
natural gas, oil, and of course, if there is a major war going on as we see it, that will definitely affect global market, both fossil fuels and some other commodities. I don't know exactly what is behind of this decision, what you mentioned from administration, but it seems that it is perhaps tactically needed to stabilize somehow markets, but again, as I said, this war will not end anytime soon. Mm-hmm. And probably global turmoil on markets will be present there. But again, if we want to end the chain of wars, and I argue that if nations can support Ukraine and internationally make an effort to put on Russia reasonable pressure, economic pressure, then ending war in Europe in best possible way for Ukraine will also have a major impact on conflicts in the Middle East, West Asia, or in East Asia as well, because we should not forget about growing assertiveness of China around Taiwan and in their vicinity of South China Sea or so. So it is incredibly important right now to understand where are the kind of major, what kind of major decision might be taken.
You are talking about putting pressure on Russia. So how do you see the role of President Trump, U.S. President Trump? Because it was Donald Trump who was saying prior to coming to office that I will end this war in 24 hours time. But 4 years has passed, and 1 year he being in his office. So how do you see his role? Is he putting pressure on Russia, or he's playing both the ways?
Unfortunately, this shows that how little perhaps sometimes leaders know about realities. Yes, it is a nice slogan to use during campaign time, but he has acknowledged that this conflict, this war, is much more serious, that you cannot end it within such a short period of time. About pressure, no. United States has much more in their hands, let's say, in terms of tools or economic.
But they are not using it.
But they are not using it in full scale. Think about Tomahawks when it comes to military equipment, planes, and some other equipment. They stopped sending Ukraine aid. Yes. They're only selling through a specific system to Europeans, and then we send the equipment to Ukraine. And secondly, also, yes, they put some sanctions on Russian companies like Rosneft and Lukoil, and so, but this is not enough. Yeah, absolutely. And think about that bill of sanctions, what Lindsey Graham has told so many times, and has a major support of 80 plus senators, still is in Senate, and this still is not adopted.
Okay. Now we will move towards the India-Estonia bilateral relation. So how do you see, what is the potential, how India and Estonia can work together in a more closer manner, and what are the areas of possibilities where we can do better?
I see that we have a very bright prospects of bilateral relations. It always takes time to learn about the possibilities and to understand better where we can make a positive impact. But I think that Estonia and India, one very small nation and the biggest in the world, can very much find cooperation in the area where we are both very strong, which is innovation, technology, digitalization. AI, of course, is coming both into our everyday life, and I think we are both very hungry nations. Yes. In terms of innovation and technology. Estonia is #1 country per capita in the world for a number of unicorns. We have 10 unicorns, which is by far the most sort of successful nation on earth, and that tells you that there is a very lot of areas we could find the ways to go.
Last year I visited Estonia, and I got to know that you are a big player in cyber defense. So in that particular area, what Estonia can do for India, how it can help India to enhance its cyber defense?
As far as I know, there is already cooperation is going on in terms of sharing our knowledge, how to build infrastructure for cyber defense, how to train within organizations people to handle that very critical area of protecting critical infrastructure in cyberspace. Estonia has done quite a bit during last 2 decades, and there is very good knowledge to share. And I think we have a lot to learn also from India, because your growth has been incredible during the last decade or so, specifically in the area of different domains of technology.
When we talk about the relationship of two countries, people-to-people contact is one of the most important thing about that. So what more can be done from the people-to-people contact point of view? Because what I know in my limited knowledge, that very less footfall of Indian tourists over there in Estonia. So in that direction, what you are doing, what you are intended to do, and how you see that market to tap?
I think here again we see very positive trends. Your country opened embassy in Estonia recently. We have a number of visits on a political level. Just in few days' time, our speaker will come over here with his colleagues from Nordic and Baltic countries. Our president was recently in India during AI summit. And there is a growing understanding of possibilities, what two countries can promote, and tourism is one of them. Yes, numbers are not big enough, let's say both Estonian tourists to India or Indian tourists to Estonia, but there is a potential, definitely, to discover, and I know that embassies, both our embassy here in New Delhi and also your embassy in Tallinn,
yes,
promoting each
so
of
I
its
got
countries.
the chance to visit Estonia just because of the fact that the Estonian ambassador, she's very active on the front of people-to-people contact. So before I leave you, I will ask one more question. When we visited Estonia, we saw one Shiva temple is coming up. So how much time it will take, and what is your plan? How you are going to inaugurate that Shiva temple?
To be honest, I have very little knowledge about that, but I think that what is important, we really care about everybody who lives in Estonia, and Estonia is one of the perhaps nicest small nations and places to be or to visit, and for us it's extremely important that everybody who lives in Estonia feels homey, and we are happy there.
Thank you for talking to me, and I hope that next time it will not take 14 years again for you to come over again in India. So hope to see you soon again.
Absolutely, definitely, and I met with my counterpart, Mr. Dahour, in your parliament, and we made some already agreements that my committee of Foreign Relations of Estonian Parliament should visit India.
That's great. That is very good to know about. And thank you once again for giving your precious time to me, and hope to see you soon.
Great, thank you.